morning. Sorry cat from Thailand. Hope you're doing well. It's True Blue Thai here from Thailand. Hope you're doing well. How are you today? It's 1 hour. Yes, yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, one sort is the S-U-S-A, so that's not bad. Which is Saturday. Yeah, what's it called? Welcome back to Thailand. Welcome back to me. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, it's game day tomorrow. One at it. For instance, yeah, Sunday. So it's because it's the last game of the season against Fulham. And yeah, and we've got to win or draw, or hopefully if we lose, hopefully that, for instance, other teams can do us a favour. But we don't want to be in that situation when we go to Fulham and win. Bike day weekend. We had a start of it yesterday, and you can hear the bikes and yeah, people ride around on bikes. Totally boring. Okay, never mind. We've got the Lao Cow, the rice whiskey, and okay, so we've got a game tomorrow, for instance, against what's it called, against Fulham, and our Lord and Master is at his final press conference, but there's been a two parts of the press conference. We've only heard the first part at the moment. So, well, I'll come back in a second. So, what's the state of play? The state of play is Manchester City aligning third position on 68 points. Let's go. Thank God for that win against Bournemouth with Kevin De Bruyne's last home game. Amazing goal, Mamouche. Absolute superb. What a goal. My God, what a great goal. And also, nice to see Nukan Gonzalez coming on and scoring as well. Great. He needs to start for me. And I doubt it though. What's it called? But yeah, but he's showing his mettle and what he's got. For instance, he's going to be a great player for us. I really do. And then we've got okay. So we're on, and also Bernard still scored a great goal. But shame we didn't. Nunes again. To Diaz, we missed it to me 3-1. But never mind. We move on. So we're starting in third position on 68 points. After 37 games. A very good goal difference, and this goal difference could be pivotal on ours because we've got plus 26. Newcastle, okay, they're playing Forest. We got Fulham away. They're playing Forest at Forest. I do apologise. Newcastle at home to Everton. People go, no, you're wrong. No, Newcastle at home to Everton, which Everton are half decent at the moment, so it's not always an easy win. What's the goal? So, but you would expect Newcastle to get over the side. Last game at St James's Park, through the season. So we expect Everton's really got nothing to play for. What's the goal? But but they're playing well, so it's not going to be an easy game against Everton. But I expect Newcastle to beat that. So that would put them on to 69 points. What's the goal? Which we've won across City, and then you got Chelsea and Forest on 5th and 7th position playing together. Both on 66. Forest on 65. Chelsea on 66. What's the goal? With Chelsea got a goal difference of plus 20. And yeah, so for instance, so they're playing each other, which is a draw. Anything other than Chelsea win. What's the goal? If Man City don't win. So because they're on 66, so that'll put them on 69 if they win. Chelsea, but Forest, for instance, are on 65, 66, 67, 68. They were on putting 68, but Manchester have got a better goal difference than Forest. So if we lose tomorrow, we just got to hope Forest win or a draw, for instance, and that will put Man City through because of our goal difference and also the points difference, so a draw. Aston Villa, they've got the rags, the weeping rags, the crying rags. How do you think that's going to go? How do you think that's going to go? Do you think they're up for it? Absolutely not. So you can clearly see Aston Villa's going to beat that one. So what's it called? That'll put them on 69 as well. So two certainty wins. And so what's it called? But it all depends. But if Manchester just get the job done, go over there, but put a show, get a point, at least a point, get the free, for Kevin De Bruyne's last game. Then, for instance, we can have a bit of chest for the, because knowing that we're back in the Champions League and there'll be European football Champions League. Well, there will be European football in the Manchester, for instance, next season. But we want to be in that Champions League because it will also depend on just money and everything, regardless of what many people may think, and also, for instance, who we can attract and who we can attract. Could the Florian Wirtz thing, etc., have got something to do with the fact that, for instance, we didn't get him is because of where Liverpool are compared to where Man City is? You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. So, for instance, yeah. So, but it's going to be interesting. You know, City could end up with 60, 71 points. 69, yeah, exactly, same as Arsenal. Arsenal have definitely got a bigger goal difference than City, so they end up joint second, but they'll have a better goal difference. So, but at the end of the day, it's weird when to go the teams with the best highest goal difference. What's called always, you know, and where the Liverpool got 45, Arsenal 34, Man City 26. Newcastle 22, Chelsea got 20, then you got Aston Villa with a +9 and Forest +13. That's about the only bit. Other than that, for instance, you've got so the goal difference seems to go with who's in the table. But to go with United -12, -12, and got beaten in the European by the team at 17th position. Oh, shocking! Absolutely shocking. Yeah. I'm loving every minute of it. And Spurs call that a trophy parade. God, talk about sparse. You know, my God, terrible, absolutely terrible. Anyway, so just before I start, let's just pop on. For instance, the news just Bob Hunt said Man City were playing in the Man City Painted Ladies. Were playing in the 7th in Portugal, and unfortunately, we actually lost to the third place players, third place playoff to PSG. So, for instance, in the World Sevens, and a 3-1 defeat against PSG. It was a much improvement to play after our two. We got beat by United as well in the 7th. Normally Laser carried the ball two-thirds of the pitch, seeing a low shot pushed at the keeper. Yeah. At the end of the day, was it mean City have finished 4th in the 18th? In the 18th finished part. It was a largely enjoyable exercise for one and will complete after trying. What's next for the ladies? City will now continue to take time and rest and recuperate before pre-season begins in the summer. The ladies, if you've been following the ladies, Man City ladies, big up to you guys, ladies. But yeah, they've had a really tough time with injuries, massive, especially United game, a massive game with injuries. So, but they've, for instance, just missed out on the Champions League. That's something we cannot do. The men do, the men can't do, but they've just missed out on the United Champions League. And for instance, and they've gone off to Portugal to do the 7th. And even though, again, for instance, we had playing in the new strip as well. So, but they've got to go away, lick the wounds, etc., and come back stronger next season because of the issues they've had. As far as injuries concerned, because they've had a shocking time. You think about the men's had injury issues, the ladies have shocking injuries issues. Right, okay, let's go back to the game. For instance, we play Fulham at the Etihad. For instance, Theory was by far the better player. He got man of the match, but City did win the game. It was part of our time when we were playing pretty poor. We did win it 3-2 at the Etihad, etc. But it was a tough game, and Fulham were half decent at that time. So we did win. But we did scrape it over the line at the Etihad. But we weren't playing great at that time. But we did get over it, which was good. Injuries for Fulham. They've got Nelson, Muniz, Reed, and Castagnic out. With City, no Rodri injured. Way still got John Stones and Kovacic, who was also injured, but also got a red card. So, for instance, he won't be participating. Right, how they will expect them to line up. Okay, so now Fulham expect them to line up with their goalkeepers Berlino, And then you've got back four Robinson, Alexandri, Bassi, and Teti. And then they'll have a Beige, Wilson, and Sasa Lukic in midfield. And the two guys who are on the opposite side are Iwobi on the left and Traore on the right, with Jimenez in the centre. So I think it's different team. That Fulham, they're just a strange team at the moment. They really are, because they've had a very good season, okay, but they've also had a bit indifferent season. They've had, for instance, because they come across as they're somewhat building and playing well. So if you look at this, so in 37 games, they've won 15, drew 9, lost 13. So it's kind of like mediocre season. It's bit 10th in the Premier League. They got 54 points and plus 2 goal difference. So it's a decent. They've got a decent half squad. And they've put on some decent win. I think they beat Brighton last time, etc. With the last game. But again, for instance, they're very unpredictable. Now they're on the beach. They're in third position. They're not going to get any further high up. They may go one lower. What's it called? Maybe one high up, one lower. What's it called? If results go their way. But what's it called? It's you could say there's nothing. Maybe they want to got the shackles off, and maybe they want to improve their fans. But we'll see how it goes. Now, City. Let's have a look. My squad. Which, saying that though, every time I put my squad in, especially for the citizens, I always have to think about what I always bet Pep Guardiola would do. So it's kind of like it's right, but it's wrong, because I expect Pep Guardiola to come out and basically he's going to play Bernardo Silva. So I've got Bernardo Silva in my squad. But I'm hoping that, for instance, he plays Edison at the back and in goal. And then you've got, I want to see Nunes on the right, O'Reilly on the left, and Josko and Ruben in the centre. And then, for instance, on the other top, put Ducko in. For instance, then I would have KDB, Gundogan, and Silva on the right-hand side. And then I would have Mamouche and Haaland at the front. That's what I expect. What's the goal? Anything different? It'd be nice to see Nico Gonzalez, maybe in front of Gundogan, but I think Gundogan's a very good mainstay. For instance, I think would have be Kovacic other than Gundogan, but I think, for instance, they'll finish with that. KDB, we've got to play. And for instance, but I think that'll probably be the setup, but you never know. Now, let's have a look at what Pep's been saying. He's been talking. Yeah, look at that. Well, Florian Wirtz, he said he told City he was actually coming to. He's signing for Munchen, and now he's decided to go to Liverpool. I don't know if that's true or not. I just don't care. I don't know, but. Let's move on to Wirtz. Andy Madley will referee the game on Saturday after John Brooks with the VAR. Come on, guys, don't do any fuck-ups. Right, okay, so let's have a look at Pep. Pep was, we're still waiting for the second part of the press conference, but the first part, I'm not going to say a joke because I was a funny guy. He was talking about the French when he was asked about leaving, if we had a bigger squad, and kind of upset a lot of people, including myself, because he's been saying we've had a small squad, and then we've lost so many injuries, especially key players, Rodri, in like KDB, Foden, you name it, what's it called, we've had. And so, for instance, and I've seen his previous interviews. I've seen him on Sky Sports. I've seen him on different where he's actually turned round and said, "I want a bigger. I'm assured that I need a bigger squad." But then he's reverting back to saying the fact that, for instance, he doesn't want a bigger squad because for instance, he has to leave people on the bench or leave people at home, e.g., McAtee, Lewis, etc. Which I understand that, but unfortunately, this is the way we are, and if we're going for every trophy. And if we get in the Champions League, we'll be going for every trophy. We know Club World Cup next season, but we'll be going for every trophy. Now, if that's the case, etc., the Champions League, the Premier League, the League Cup, the FA Cup, but so we're going for every trophy. We need a bigger squad because again, we can't have a squad. It's a season, and now season were unfortunate. Now, like Liverpool, okay. When we went for the treble season we didn't have a massive. Didn't have a massive squad, but also we didn't have many injuries, and we could field the same players. Like Liverpool this season, they haven't had many injuries, so of course they managed to have a stable squad. Man City now, for instance, had shocking amount of injuries this season. Shocking. So it's which is basically, for instance, affected our season. Plus players are out of form, e.g. Phil Foden, etc. For instance, so it's so we need a bigger squad. It's as simple as that. And unfortunately, the players have got to basically, I don't want to say suck it up, is it? Where you just got to accept it. If you want to play, you've got to perform. And unfortunately, if you don't perform, you'll be left at home. And it's awful. But the fact is, we still need a bigger squad. We need a 24-man squad, 26-man squad. And it'll be fortunate there'll be players that are left at home. Unfortunately, but they will get an opportunity to play. So they've got to turn around and everyone want to play for a team who wants to win everything, right? Then you've got to accept the fact that you might be left at home. So, for instance, if you're not performing well, but there will be injuries throughout the season. But so it is a difficult one. I really understand. But Pep said he was joking when he was asked. He had a smile on my face, so he didn't mean it. But for instance, I don't want Pep now to. And whether he was joking, whether he's not joking, I don't know. Maybe he's realised because everybody picked up on what he said, but I don't know. So, but I hope he wasn't joking. Yeah. But for instance, we do need a big squad, and unfortunately, players will have to be left at home if if they don't want to stay. Unfortunately, you have to move on. So, but we need a bigger squad because we can't have another injury hit season like we have this season because it screwed us. And without a shadow of a doubt, we might be lucky next season with no injuries, but you never know. But unfortunately, we will. But in fact, we go for every club, and we need players who can play 3 games in a row. But it's a toss of a coin. If you sign a player and you hope that, for instance, he's young enough, he's going to be fit enough, he's going to play 3 games in a row, but you just don't know. For instance, yeah. But I think we need a big squad, regardless. Pep on Kai Walker. No, he won't be part of the Club World Cup. No surprise. He'll be one of the goals, guys. In principle, Phil Foden is going to the Club World Cup, but we don't know. But again, it's up in the air. He's dropped out of the England squad. Rodri will not start against Fulham. No surprise there, because people have got. I think typical City he had Rodri in this team. He's too early for him. Too early. You don't want to. Erling Haaland is getting better every day because people are concerned about his form. Again, he's not getting the service. Again, he's still coming back. But I think he's got a very good. I think 5-5 against Fulham. So I think we've got a good chance. He's got a good chance of scoring against Fulham. He likes Fulham scoring against Fulham. So hopefully, if he get his first goal, then he'll get 10 goals. And again, it's been a tough season for him, but he still scored 30 goals. Give the guy a break. Let's go there. Yeah, Phil Foden. I'm threatening to quit. So yeah, it wasn't threatening to quit at all. Yeah, on the future. We'll have to decide on. It was asked about, for instance, players coming and going. He turned around and said, "Do you think I'm going to tell you? I think I'm going to tell you who's coming and going," which I thought was quite funny. And these guys, stupid questions these reporters ask. They really do. Who's coming in? Who's leaving? Yeah, I'm going to tell you right just before the last game of the season. Yeah, we need one more point to go into the Champions League. Hopefully, we'll get the 3. Depending on yeah, Pep Guardiola. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. We'll see what happens in the second part of the press conference. Unfortunately, again, they ask stupid questions, and I could repeat. I call this the press view, but a lot of the things they say, they ask the questions are stupid questions. And I can't. You got the Pep Guardiola right in front of you. You ask stupid questions. Oh, I'm Pep. And it's like mindless questions you listen to. Sometimes you could just glaze over with your eyes with the stupid questions. Yeah. Right, guys. My prediction for the game. I'm going for my usual 3-1. I think Manchester City will get the job done. I think we need to get the job done. I think the guys will step up. Confidence after the Bournemouth game. And I think Erling will get 1. And Moose will get 1. And let's talk. KDB will get 1. If you're going down to the game, good luck. Enjoy your safe travels down to the smoke. And for instance, take care. It's more of a carnival day more than anything else. Final game of the season. A lot of people like the ground. Me personally, I'm not fussed about it. And about the place. I think it's too small. I think Fulham will always be where they are. They're a half decent team. But hopefully they're on the beach and they won't cause us too many problems tomorrow. But I expect us to win. But you never know. So we'll see. But I'll have a chat with you tomorrow about the second part of Pep's press conference, and hopefully we can do the business. Guys, you're going to love you and leave it. True Blue Time from Thailand. I hope you do. Have a good day, whatever you're doing. And we'll speak to you soon. Take care. For the cat from Thailand.